Okay, good morning. So let us start with today's session by starting with a new topic, that is design of a shaft. What do you mean by this term shaft, or what do you understand by this term shaft? Yes,
A cylindrical shape which is used to transfer torque.
perfect answer. It is of cylindrical shape and it is used to transmit torque or power. That is the main important point, because the things which we have learned before, that is design of knuckle joint, design of quarter joint, design of turnbuckle. In that I have put a note in the end which says that this kind of joints are not used to transmit power. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
It was given that it is not used to transmit power. So here there is an element which is known as a shaft, mostly cylindrical in nature and is used to transmit the power. So yes, the definition goes like this. It is defined as a rotating element, defined as a rotating machine element used for transmitting power from a prime mover to a machine. This is the exact definition of the shaft. Now, in this, the terms rotating machine element, that is familiar to you. It should be a rotating element. Then used for transmitting power, that is also known to you. What do you mean by this? From a prime mover. What do you mean by this? Prime mover. So let us take an example of a lathe machine. Let us take an example of lathe machine. Let us say this is an electric motor, and this is the spindle of the lathe. Okay, this is spindle. So what happens? The one which connects this electric motor to the spindle. देखो पहले मोटर घूमेगी तब तो स्पिंडल घूमेगा. So the main element or the main mover is this electric motor. So this will be known as the prime mover. The main element which moves is known as the prime mover, and in between there is a shaft, and then there is a spindle which is also can be called as a machine element. So the definition is, it is defined as a rotating machine element because the shaft will rotate for transmitting power. It is transmitting power from this motor to this spindle, from prime mover to the machine. That means from electric motor to the spindle. Let us now go to the next topic, classification of the shafts. How the shafts are classified. So the first classification is based on the function. Now, based on the function, the first type of the shaft is known as the spindle. Spindle basically are the shorter length shafts. Okay, basically they are shorter length shafts. So if you observe in this diagram, the length of the shaft is much more smaller than what you actually see. So if the length of the shafts are much shorter, then it will be known as a spindle. The other thing is, it spindle shafts are designed only for twisting movement. Again, I repeat, please write down these points. This can be a part of MCQs. So the first point which I told, spindle is a shaft which is having less length and is designed only for twisting movements or torque. Okay, the examples are the headstock of the lathe machine, or you can say also a drilling machine spindle. Then, after this, the second classification or second type of shaft based on function is this one, axle. Now, most of you are familiar with this word axle. So now I expect reply from your side. What do you mean by term axle?
Sir, axle is a shaft that rotates the wheel
Yes.
of the vehicle.
Yes. So if I go into the exact definition, it is a stationary shaft is generally referred to as axle, which carries rotating wheels or pulley. So basically it is a stationary part which is attached to the rotating wheels. So if it is attached to rotating wheels, it will rotate. So it is not like it will not rotate. So it will rotate, but it is attached to the rotating elements such as wheels and pulleys. Now, as I said that the spindle will be used to design only for torque or the rotating element. So what can you say about axle? Which type of load it will carry? So there is also a figure in front of you. What kind of load an axle can carry?
Perpendicular load.
Perfect answer. See this. This is a shaft, or you can say this is an axle shaft, in which if you can see on these two sides, there is a wheels attached. And because of these wheels, there will be load on this like this. So axis of shaft is along X, and the load is along Y, what kind of failure is expected if the load is perpendicular?
Bending.
Yes, very good. So for Excel, I can say that it is designed for bending loads only. Okay. So again, I repeat, spindle only for torsion or torque, Excel only for bending. Okay. So the third type based on function is nothing but power transmission and distribution shaft. Power transmission and distribution shaft. Again, what do you mean by this power transmission and distribution shaft? Okay, let me explain. So let us say there is a shaft here on which there is a gear attached. There is a gear here. Let us say one pulley is here. Okay, this is a shaft AB on which there is a gear and a pulley. Now, because this gear is attached on this shaft, there is a gear, that means it will be connected to some other gear on the machine element. So there is some gear on this element also. And because here it is pulley, it will be connected by means of a belt to another pulley, which is on the another rotating element. So what is there? This shaft is rotating. This shaft is rotating. And because of this shaft rotating, this gear and all, this pulley will also get rotated. And it is connected to this gear by this particular gear. Or you can say this is a pinion. This pinion is connected to this gear. Now, because it is connected, this will also move. And because this pinion will move, it will drive the further machine element. So what will happen? The power will get distributed. The total power will be distributed among gear and the pulley. So this type of shafts are known as power transmission and distribution shaft, where power is transmitted to various other parts. Then, now again, if I tell you what are the different kinds of load acting on this shaft, what will be that? As we saw, in spindle, there will be only torsion. In Excel, there will be only bending. What kind of load will be acting on this shaft, which is a power transmission and distribution shaft? Yes.
Twisting.
Twisting, good. Only twisting?
Bending.
Bending. How can you say bending? What's the reason for that?
Gears are attached to the perpendicularly of the shaft.
Very good. If I draw a line diagram, let us say if I draw a line diagram of this shaft, there is a gear attached at this particular point. So gear has its own weight. So it will be acting like this. Similarly, there is a pulley attached at this part. So there will be load acting of this pulley. Then the shaft will have its own weight. The shaft will have its own weight, which will acting at the center, and it acts vertically downward. So these are the weights acting on the shaft, and also there is a twisting movement because the shaft is rotating. So this case is a case where there is combined bending and torsion. So bending because the loads are perpendicular to the shaft, and torsion because it is rotating. So this is the case where there is a combined bending and torsion. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, next part is this. So the second type of classification, the first was based on the function. The second is based on the construction of the shaft. So I will portray two figures in front of you and give me the answer. What do you understand by that figures? Okay, these are the two figures which I want to show. What can you say about this type of shafts based on construction?
Hollow shaft.
Solid shaft.
Solid shaft. Very good. So there are two different types of shaft based on the construction. So the first type of shaft is known as the solid shaft, and the other one will be known as the hollow shaft. So here you can see the material has been removed. So this is known as the hollow shaft. So based on the construction, there are only two types. The first one is solid, other one is hollow. So now let us go to the main design part of this shaft, which is coming for around 16 to 20 marks in your end semester examination. So the first type of design is design of shaft based on the loading condition. Okay, not the first type. The basic of the designing of shaft is based on types of loading. And the first type of loading is nothing but pure axial loading. Okay. As we saw in quarter joint, knuckle joint, and turnbuckle, what we used to do, we used to check the component. Okay, we used to take the component, and on that component we used to see what are the different types of load acting. अगर उस पर टेंसाइल लोड है, so tensile failure, shear है, shear failure, bending है, bending failure, crushing है, crushing failure. तो वहां पर भी हमने सेम तरीके से डिजाइन किए थे. सेम थिंग्स applies here also in any machine design element. First, we have to see what is the different kind of loading acting on the element. So the first type in shaft also is a shaft subjected to pure axial loading. Okay, shaft subjected to pure axial loading, which is shown in the diagram alongside. So you can see there is a shaft and it is pulled by a force F. So what kind of failure you expect in this particular case? Yes. Tensile failure. Very good, because the load is acting along the axis and away from the center. So it will be breaking towards the center, not center, it will be breaking at the minimum cross section area. So can I write sigma T? Again, our basics. Sigma T is equal to P by A. Can I write this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if sigma T, again, I will write sigma T is equal to, in terms of P, I have given the force F. So I will replace here force F divided by area from where it will break. Okay, first give me the scissors.
Cross section area.
Yes, it will break at the minimum cross section area. So in this entire rod or shaft, where is the minimum cross section area?
Center.
Not center. It can be anywhere on this shaft. Center पे भी यही area है, यहाँ पर भी वही area है, यहाँ पर भी वही area है. If I take the sections at any point, the area will be same because it is a solid shaft and uniform shaft. So area will be same. Anywhere it will break, the area will be area of this circle. So if the area of circle is there, I can write pi by 4 diameter square. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Now in this expression, I know that sigma T. I know sigma T because I will select the material for my shaft. Force will be already given to us. Then what is the unknown?
Diameter of shaft.
Yes, the diameter. The only unknown in the expression is diameter of shaft. So from here I will get the diameter of shaft in mm. So this completes the design procedure. Again I repeat, this completes This completes the design procedure for shaft based on pure axial loading. And this types of problems come for 5 marks in the examinations in question number 1.